Welcome guys to this video. I have a special guest here. 19-year-old Chris Allen has joined me in the home office here, and we're gonna do a video. We're gonna talk all about his experience as he's gotten into the business of wholesaling houses. He's on his 5th deal in 5 months, $30,000 total in assignment fees. And get this, guys, he's a Division I, right? Division I athlete, full-time college student. All of this is going on. Not only that, guys, but he's doing his deals virtually in another market, and they're all on-market deals. Chris, you've broken like all the rules of what everybody tells me of how you can't do this business. So I cannot wait to get into this interview. All of that and more coming up.
For a limited time, you can get a free copy of Jerry Norton's Quickstart Kit with everything you need to flip your first house in 30 days or less. Download it now at myquickstartkit.com.
If you're new here, I'm Jerry Norton, and I went from dead broke to millionaire flipping houses. And after doing 1,000 deals, I created this channel to help you master the art of wholesaling and flipping so you can live your dream life. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified when new videos are released. All right, so Chris, this is really awesome. What's great is we communicated a little bit on Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah,
slid in the DMs.
Yeah, like you reached out to me, and I'm so appreciative of that because you kind of shared with me, hey, I know your son. I went to school with him.
Yep.
I mean, you graduated in 2019,
Yep.
right? 2019. Went up to Utah to go to school.
Yep.
On a scholarship for swimming.
Yes, sir.
And now you're a full-time athlete, which is, guys, Division I school, full-time athlete. I mean, what's your weekly schedule for swimming?
It's 20 hours a week.
Intense.
Yep. Intense swim schedule, morning practice, afternoon, lifting at lunch, all the 9.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And school.
And school, yep.
And you're 20 years old, and you've done now your 5th wholesale deal.
Yep, correct. Indianapolis.
And virtually. So you're in Utah, you're wholesaling virtually in Indianapolis, done 5 deals since October. So about a deal a month since you kind of took it serious. And virtual, and they're all on market. I mean, guys, I can't make this stuff up. This is just so incredible to me because there are so many people, Chris, that say how you can't do this, or they have one reason after another of why it's too hard. You can't do on market, that's hard. You can't do virtual, that's hard. There's no deals, right? I don't have time. Are you kidding? You're an athlete, full-time college student.
There's always time.
I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm too that, no money. All of the reasons why. And those are all legitimate reasons, like it really is.
Yeah, no, I mean, you could justify all of them, but I mean, I think that you can do whatever you want if you put your head to it. So
why are you unique? I mean, what is unique about why you're doing this? How have you been able to do 5 wholesale deals virtually in a 5-month period like this? I mean,
yeah, you know, Jerry, I just feel like that I dedicate a certain amount of time every day. I say I'm going to call 10 agents. I want to have 10 quality conversations. I want to give them the spiel, the double dip. I want to make sure that I have a lasting impact in their head. And I don't know, I just set daily goals that I'm going to have conversations with agents to try to put something down on the paper.
Yeah. So you're pretty regimented about this then. So you've got this crazy schedule, I'm sure.
Yep.
You've got to manage your time. I mean, more so than probably most people can even imagine. I mean, you don't have a family and you don't have some of those things, but But guys, think back to if you went to school and now being an athlete on top of that. So you create this kind of regimented schedule. Is this like I'm at the library studying, but I'm not really studying? I'm looking for deals, or like what's going on here?
Yeah. There's been plenty of times that I've been saying I'm studying, but I'm really scouring Redfin.
Yeah. Now you told me a really cool story that I want to make sure we get here on this video. And that is, you started back in March.
Yeah.
And you said, okay, I want to get into this wholesaling thing.
Yeah.
First of all, tell everybody, how did you pick Indianapolis, of all places, to do deals?
Yeah. So to start, I mean, I saw Jerry's videos like most people, and me and my buddies were like, all right, this seems like a very viable thing. Like, we can do it. Jerry can do it. We can do it. So we literally looked at a map and just spun our finger and pointed and like, wow. Indiana, okay, like let's look at some zip codes. So yeah, we pulled like hot zip codes. We figured Indianapolis would be a good play. It's turning over quickly there, so we were like, all right, let's do it. But yeah, it was a rough time to start for sure.
Yeah, so this was back March, so a year ago, and you're like, okay, let's do this. You're getting education. You're following my YouTube videos.
Yep.
You immediately went to the on-market strategy, which is I'm one of the few people that, if any, that teach how to actually do on-market, right? On-market means there's a real estate agent. It's listed for sale. Most people will tell you, I can't tell you how many countless experts and everybody say you can't even do on-market. It's not even a thing.
Yeah, it's false.
It is a thing. Yeah, it's a real thing. And so you start doing that, and then you land this deal that is like the home run of all home run deals.
Yes, sir.
A $30,000 assignment. But then it blows up.
So if anybody's familiar with Indianapolis, Fountain Square is the area to be. Flips going everywhere, prices skyrocketing. So we found a package deal, 3 homes, bam, 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 right next to each other. We lock it up. We think we're gonna make 30 grand. We're through the moon. And the buyer burns us. He lets the contract expire, goes behind us, goes directly to the seller, drags the seller along and closes, and he gets that home run.
Yeah, now, as a brand new wholesaler, I mean, you probably can identify now a bunch of places where you could have done things differently, right? You live and you learn. But you had this $30,000 assignment, like, in your hands. Yeah, you can kind of already taste it and feel it, right? And it falls through, and that's discouraging.
It is.
I mean, that's super discouraging. Nothing's worse than an amazing deal or any deal. I mean, that's just sucks the life.
Different.
And so that was a hard hit, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, at that point, I was like, no, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to enjoy my summer. I'm going to study. I'm going to learn a little bit more and then get back into it.
Okay, so you kind of took a break, and then you come back in October from this recording, previous about 5 months ago. And you're like, okay, I'm in now. I'm going to do this.
I just dedicated time. I was like, you know what? I was this close before. I can do it again. And I mean, starting in October, I started calling people again, giving them the double dip, saying if you have anything in the future, email it to me. More than happy you're representing me. And things just started to work my way. I mean, putting more work in, it started to really export the fruits, I guess.
Yeah, so Chris, you talk about these goals of talking to so many, in this case, since these are on-market agents. If you're off-market, it could be just directly to sellers. But what have you found so far to get like the one deal a month as a brand new wholesaler, 20-year-old kid, busy schedule, you only got so much time where you can put into this. How much, what have you found is working for the number of people you need to talk to get some deals?
So, a lot of times it's not even necessarily if the deal looks good on Redfin. It's more for me, I try to have 10 quality conversations with an agent a day.
10 quality Now, it could be a verbal offer.
It could be an offer. It could be just hearing them out, seeing if they have anything else. I mean, I've found a deal that way where I was like, oh, this one might not work, but do you have anything else that could interest me? And they're like, oh yeah, most definitely. And now I'm on like a regular list of probably about 60 agents who are sending stuff every week that they're getting under. And I think that's my big thing, is having quality conversations.
I love that you say that, because what I like to tell people is minimum 5 offers a day is going to get you a deal a month. On market, agents, double dip strategy. Guys, we've done a ton of videos here on the channel. If you're unfamiliar with on market, guys are seriously like live calls and explanations. We'll put a link to kind of get you kind of acclimated. But on market is there's a real estate agent involved. I teach a technique called the double dip technique, which is what you're doing. You go directly to the listing agent, let them represent you, write the offer. But a lot of times, you're talking to that agent, and where you need to be is quite a bit lower than list price.
Most definitely.
That's a quality conversation, though. When they're talking about it, they may not be willing to present your offer. But you know what? You're like, oh well, it's a quality conversation. That's the measurement really that matters most, because even if that deal doesn't work out, because where you need to be is lower than where the seller's at. If it's a quality conversation, you're building a relationship now that could turn into a deal tomorrow, next week, next month. And that's why you said you've got 60 agents now that you're kind of like,
that are in my regular routine, just sending me. I check my email in the morning, see if anything works. So it's about building the pipeline, I guess.
It is. It's a pipeline, and it's those relationships. And you're not letting, I'm a 20-year-old kid. I don't have, I'm not this big bad investor that's got experience and, years under my belt. You're not letting any of that intimidate you or stop you from just doing the work and picking up the phone.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, just having confidence.
Yeah, I mean, that is really cool, Chris. I mean, I got to tell you, you're unlike a lot of people your age and a lot of people way older than you to not let those fears or limitations stop you from taking action.
Yep.
Okay, so here you are. You're doing these on-market deals. You're using Redfin. If your market has Redfin, it's awesome. I love Redfin.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, you can do the same thing pretty much on Zillow. But you're farming for these leads. You're learning your market. You're learning your neighborhoods. You're calling up these agents and you're making these offers. So you've done 5 of these now, right? Yep. 5 on-market wholesale deals. Mm-hmm. Of those 5, averaging, I think you said around 6,000. What was your best one? 7? You said?
My best was 7.
But which was your favorite, maybe easiest, or just came together awesome? Which one of those would you like the best?
My favorite was my first one.
Okay.
And this one was, I set a goal. I was like, all right, by Halloween, I want to have a deal. Doesn't need to be closed yet, but I want a deal in my name that I can close on. And this was I believe it's row housing, but a duplex in Indianapolis. And only one of the units was for sale on market, so nobody was looking at it. It looked terrible. Like, why would you want a single unit of a duplex? Well, I got to talking to the agent, and she said that she might be able to get the other owner of the other side of the duplex to sell. And eventually, after, I don't know, it was probably 2 weeks of her nagging him, he agreed. I mean, it was in lack for repair. It was awful. And so he ended up agreeing, and I got the whole duplex, and I found a buyer super quick. I think it was like 3 days. So yeah, that was my favorite one, because I think that just gave me the energy to like, all right, it's a proof of concept. It works. I can do it again if I just keep doing these calls. So yeah, that was my, I think that's my favorite one, my first one.
That's really cool. And you got the agent to do all the heavy lifting.
Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing. So then you wholesaled that one, made 7,000, which is fantastic. I mean, think about that. Like, what would you have to do as a college student to make $7,000 working,
months of working at like a pizza shop or something.
Yeah, right? I mean, are your friends like, what the heck are you doing to make money? Are they all...
Yeah. They think it's a scam, but...
Yeah, they're working minimum wage over there, which is low.
Yeah, they're like, who are you scamming? I'm like, it's legal, it's fair, I'm helping people.
That's so fun. Now, you mentioned that you're like an avid follower, subscriber, viewer on my channel.
Yeah.
I mean, I put out a lot of videos. How has that impacted you, your education side? I mean, do you literally watch all of my videos?
I'm gonna be honest, I probably don't watch all of them, but I've seen a ton of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I still use the contract that you provided, the Quickstart, whatever. I still use all those contracts. I have them saved on my computer. I read that whole Quickstart guide when I was first getting started.
It's like 100 pages.
Yeah, no, it was a hefty read. But yeah, no, I always go back to your videos for references. I mean, I see you put new stuff out there about flips and stuff, and that's what I'm starting to get really excited about. So. Yeah, I mean, I think your videos have helped tremendously. I mean, you give the best detailed guide step by step out there, I think.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great. But it's more than just that, right? Like, I mean, we get, I don't know what we're up to right now, 700,000 views a month on the videos. Like, there's so much interest in the topic and in the but a lot of people just don't take it to the next step, right? And they don't actually start picking up the phone and applying it. And so I hope for people watching this right now, they're like, man, if Chris is a college student, athlete, 20-year-old kid, just graduated high school, if he can go out there and do this on market, virtual, all of the things that I've heard are possible or people say are possible, but actually go out and do it, then I hope that's inspiring. I mean, it's inspiring for me to see that because I don't see it very often, honestly. I gotta tell you, I don't see it very often. And so, I mean, I'd love to be a part of your journey and see where you go with this. And honestly, Chris, just keep pushing yourself to learn and grow, try new things, get out of your comfort zone, go for bigger spreads, maybe, or whatever the next step looks like. And it'll be amazing where you take this. And this may become a real thing where you're like, I'm all in, man.
Yeah,
I'm all in.
I'm already all in.
Okay, so that's fun to think about. I'm curious, what's next for you? Where do you want to be in a year from now? 5 years from now? I mean, I know as a 20-year-old, that's probably like a long time to think down the road. But do you know, have you got some thoughts on that?
I really want to transition into flipping houses.
Yes.
Fix
and flip, baby.
Yeah, I want to fix and flip, and then I want to have passive income with rentals, have some Section 8 units. But yeah, I really, really want to break into the flipping industry. I think I'd rather be out of college, so I don't have all this stuff I'm already dealing with going on.
That's probably a good move.
Yeah.
Keep wholesaling through college.
Yeah, I just want to save some money so I can put it into something bigger.
Yeah. You got a great head on your shoulders. I mean, that's really amazing. So fix and flip down the road. So when you said you're all in, you really mean that your long-term plan is to do real estate?
Yeah, this is I think my be-all end-all. This is the career that I'm passionate about. I mean, in my free time I read real estate books. So I mean, this is what I'm passionate about, and I think this is what I'll take further.
What's your major you're doing right now?
Economics.
Okay, so business, you're right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looking at market trends and such. Yep.
Well, that'll fit in well, probably, right, with real estate.
Yeah,
so
most definitely, yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, let me help you get started with some things. He mentioned my Quickstart Kit. If you go to myquickstartkit.com, we'll put the link below as well. But that'll get you that. It's a huge guide. It's got a bunch of tools and resources. Chris mentioned it. Yeah, it'll really help you kind of get your. The goal is that'll help you get your first deal in the next 30 days. You know, ideally, if you can really implement it. That's really powerful. Another thing too that I'd like to throw out there is I have a software tool called Data Cruncher. If you go to mydatacruncher.com, it's an on-market deal finding tool. It'll help you find underpriced homes. But really, you know, just I would say dive in, you know, like get on my video, start learning this on-market technique if that's where you want to start. Just pick up the phone. I mean, there's no other way around it.
Make your phone calls. Don't get stuck in that analysis paralysis and just get going.
Yeah. And Chris, I mean, we have a lot, especially more so every day. We're starting to attract a really big younger demographic. I mean, Tyler, we've got what kids that are like, I'm 16. How do I get started? Like one of the main questions is, how do I sign a contract? I'm not 18. It's amazing. Like, go get your mom. Yeah, that's what we tell them. Go get your dad to sign it, right? But what would you tell someone that's kind of like high school, post high school, maybe college? What would you tell them that would be the biggest piece of advice to get started doing this?
I would just say don't be afraid. I mean, the worst thing in this world that can happen is somebody just says no. You call the next person, and I wouldn't overanalyze. I mean, that's I think a lot of people's issue is they spend hours looking at one property. I'm more of the follower of the large casting net. I mean, like the more you got, I mean, the better chance you have at striking a deal. So, I mean, I'd say just approach it with confidence. Act like you own the place. Yeah.
Love that. Very good. Awesome, guys. Well, Chris, thank you for being here. Really fun video.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, guys, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe. This is the #1 channel on YouTube for all things wholesaling and flipping, and we'll see you on the next video.